Hey mamas. So today's video is just gonna be a quick, just simple, chill chit chat. I want to just sit down and just talk to you all. I wrote a couple of notes. All right, y'all. So I've been in go 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 mode all summer, and y'all, school is right around the corner. School is right around the corner, and I was like, I need to make something on this channel. Just talking about life is happening and just getting back. Prepared for school with the kids, all that kind of stuff. So of course, I got three things that I'm gonna be bringing to y'all. So the first one is just getting prepared. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell y'all the things. So I'm gonna be talking about getting prepared, routines, and then opening and closing of doors. So with getting prepared, y'all, this isn't just like getting school supplies, which is a big part of it. Last year the school provided school supplies for us, but I do believe this year we're gonna have to purchase our own. So school supplies, clothes, shoes, y'all. When it come to clothes, the kids used to be in uniform. Well, this year we were told that they could wear whatever they want. I am not happy about it. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not happy about it. From my just for me, I can just speak for me. It was easier with the kids being in uniform. I didn't have to worry about, one spend a whole bunch of money, fortunes on all these. I need something different to wear. Like I bought so many pair of khakis, so many pair of navy blue pants, which the kids didn't wear. They only wore their blue jeans. My little girl wore her skirts all the time. And then their shirts were, three solid colors. So of course they can get up in the morning and just easily put together whatever they want to. I didn't have to worry about it because I knew as long as they picked something that was hanging up, I knew they were wearing their school clothes. But now it's like, are you kidding me? We in regular clothes. So I've been just buying stuff little by little, getting it done. My little boy is now at the age where he wants some name brand shoes. Um y'all, growing up, you wore what you wore. It wasn't about, the brand that was on your feet. Now, there's so much bullying, just different stuff going on. But I've never been like, I want you to have this so nobody picks on you. But he actually came to me, he's in football now, and he's like, he wants some Jordan. So mama's gonna make that happen. We're gonna get him a pair. My little girl came to me at the blue, like she want a pair of Nikes. And I'm like, okay. I said, how many? And she said 10. Well, baby, we need doing 10. We doing 10. We can do like one, two. But just getting prepared. Um, that's like with the physical stuff, but also making sure like it's just organized and having systems in place. With these clothes, things like that. But also with getting prepared is like being mindful if your kid's gonna be in like extracurricular activities, if they're gonna be in sports, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, life is still happening, and now you're going to be getting on a schedule. Things, drop offs, car ride line, like the bus route, the pick up and drop off time. All that stuff is now going to play a part. Things could be changing from last year in the times. Um, Last year, the job that I was at then worked very well with the kids' schedule. The bus picked the kids up just in time to where I literally could get from here to like my 30 to 45 minute drive to my job. And I was there like within like a 5 minute window, sometimes just barely pushing it. But it worked. You know what I'm saying? So just being mindful of like what your kids are gonna be in. Is it something you want to continue to do? Just reflect on how did you feel last year doing it. Yeah, all the other parents are doing it, but was it something that you felt like it was just draining? Was it something you actually enjoyed? Most importantly, was it something that your kids enjoyed? I know a lot of times we just throw them in stuff because we want to say they're in something. But be mindful and think about it, like, do my kid actually enjoy, being on the dance team? My little girl wants to, so we're looking into that. Do your kids enjoy sports? My little boy did soccer like 2 years ago. Now he's not so much want to do soccer. He's want to try football, so we can try that. So things like that. And also get prepared and just looking at your resources before school start. So what do I mean by that? Like, not just the help that you're going to be having, like sitters and people that's going to be like, you're going to be put down for emergency contacts, but what are some things that you can do right now to get your child back in the groove since they've been out of school? Such as like, a lot of kids, not all of them, but majority of the kids aren't reading and aren't writing and haven't been doing anything. Run by the local Dollar Trees got the little workbooks. I should have went and pulled a couple out the kids' room, but They got the little workbooks per grade. It's at the top of the corner. Your kids could be working on, some of those before school start. I know they're supposed to be on break, but just getting them back into the habit of like, this is what you're gonna be doing. Just practicing on their handwriting, if nothing else. Just things like that. And the second thing I want to talk about, which sort of goes hand in hand with the first one, is getting prepared, but working on routines and drop zones. And I can do a more in-depth video on exactly what this is, but routines like a AM and nighttime routine. So my kids, I'm getting them back onto a sleeping schedule. So of course in June, and some parents might not agree, but I let my kids stay up. They were staying up, for the month after when school got out in of May, and then for June. But now in July, we're getting back to their bedtimes, and I'm needing them in bed by 8:30, no later than 9. I need them sleep. And then they're still sleeping right now, and I believe it's going on like 8 something right now. But when school starts, I have to wake them up at 6. I'm not gonna be waking them up over the summer that early, but I do need to make sure that they're going to bed sooner. You know what I'm saying? Like getting them back in the routine of like what's gonna be going on, what's gonna be happening. And also, if you didn't establish like TV time when we're doing homework, things like that, just start thinking through like what were some of the things that you did last year or the last school year or the year before that worked for you and what didn't. So one of the things I can give y'all for an example, last year I was on when I was well last school year when I was working at a particular job, Wednesday was my long day. So Wednesday for the kids was the day that they didn't do homework. It was just a chill, relaxed day because I know I didn't get home to super late. And instead of having like whoever was watching them, just full blown Monday through Friday, Wednesday was their day to chill. If they wanted to pick up their AR book, they could, but it wasn't a day I'm gonna be like, hey, go get your homework, do. No, normally we did homework on Sunday. So my kids' school, my little boy, they would send the homework package home on Friday, and so we would pick it up Sunday afternoon, like late Sunday afternoon, somewhere around there, and he would go ahead and get started, work on it, look over his spelling words, vocabulary words for the week, things like that. If he didn't want to touch it on Sunday, that's fine, but he knew that Monday he needs to go ahead and start picking it up because I knew Teresa's gonna be rolling around, and Wednesday was a day that I know that I wasn't gonna be looking into backpacks except to sign their behavior charts. But that was a day that I sort of had off. So, if like pick what works for you. If you know Mondays are super busy and you just can't get your life together, and homework to do on Friday, Monday may not be the best day for you because you have to make sure you're in a good mental space also as well when helping your kids. So just making sure you're having like those routines in place and like what you expect in the morning, what you expect in the evening. I've spent this summer and working on the last couple of months. What you got in your mouth? Somebody stop. He stayed with a sock in his mouth, y'all. I've minimized a lot of stuff in the house and I've cleared out a lot of stuff. They have systems in place and the kids have been using them very well. They already know how I feel about the TV. So of course they've been on, watching TV on their cell phone and with this Xbox all throughout the summer, y'all. That's gonna be scaling back. So I'm already scaling that back. This is the month of July, and we're already scaling that back and being like, nope, pulling from it. If you want to spend an hour or so on, if you do it this morning, then guess what? The rest of the day, you gotta find you something else to do. That's just how that's gonna work. And then knowing when we're doing homework time and like designated spaces to do these things. I know, yeah, you just be like, yeah, wherever you want to do it. But kids need that. I feel like kids need that structure and to say, like, when I do homework, I know that I'm going to the kitchen table to do what I need to do. I know that when I'm reading my AR book, mama normally wants me to either come to her bed, and that's where my kids, I sit up in the bed, they sit up beside me, and they read. That's just where how we typically do things. And then of course supper, making sure they're eating, get what they need to. I know a lot of times I've heard other teachers, like when I was nursing, people come through and they just talk about their professions and different things. And they talk about like a lot of kids, like sometimes there is so much going on at home that these kids' meals are only what they get at school. Please be mindful. And if all possible, make sure your baby is eating something or something on their stomach. You don't want them getting up in the morning and not having, nothing in their body. And they get to school and they can't function. They're like, you know, we know how we feel when we're hungry, just like your babies. Make sure, they're eating what they're supposed to. And then also bath time and routine, just making sure your kids are staying up on that and just being mindful of, what they're supposed to do to keep their bodies healthy and whatnot. And my second one was talking about drop zones. So this worked very well last year. My kids had some days where they just didn't want to do it because I mean, hey, they are kids. But so drop zone. So when your kids come in, like where they typically toss their shoes and whatnot, well there may be where you need to like set up a system at. Like my kids used to drop this stuff off at the front door. Well, I moved the rug because it looked like, oh, that's where we're supposed to drop everything off. I'm no, 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 no. Your bedroom is literally a couple of steps from that door. You need to step on into your bedroom, not just kick them off and throw them into your room, but put them on your shelf. My little boy got a shelf because that seemed to be best for him. My little girl has a cubby that does better for her. And for backpacks, they'll come in, they want to toss them in the corner in the living room. Nope. Just hang it on your bedroom door. That's what I need you to do. Or they want to come in, they love to just throw it in the recliner. And I had to keep on, like, you have to just keep on correcting and keep on correcting. And then they'll realize, like, hey, did you forget something? And they'll be like, yeah. And you ain't even got to tell them. They'll just run over there, get what they need to, and take where it's supposed to. It helps keep your house together. It helps keep your kids organized. And when it's time to look for something or do something, they're not like, where did I drop my stuff at? Where's my code? Where is this? It just makes everything so much better. And another thing is with the drop zones, this could be different for everybody. And I learned, and I can do a video on this as well, but how we organize is different from how our kids organize. You know, we all have different decluttering and organizing um patterns, or you know what I'm trying to say? Like organizing styles. That's what I'm trying to say. We all have different organizing styles. Like I like things like in those boxes. Y'all, it don't stop raining. I really need to replace this. I really need to replace that. But anyway, we my kids, they organize different than how I organize. So I had to learn that when I'm going to the room, like why they can't do this. That's what works for me. So I've learned I'm putting some system in place that works very well for my kids. And I go ahead and give y'all a little heads up. My little girl loves tucking things under the bed. So guess what? A lot of her storage is under the bed storage because that's just what she enjoys. Like that's just how she does it. My little boy, he likes things being out and about where he can see it, but it doesn't necessarily um he doesn't group them. So I went and got him big bins, put him in his room, but there's no lid, so he can just toss it in there. It ain't messy because it's contained, and that's what works for him. I particularly don't like that in my bedroom. I like if it's in a container, I either want a lid on it or I want it to be where I can't see what's in. I just want a uniform. Him, he just needs to know them are all of my trains, them are all of my guns. These are all of my what else he got? He got trains, guns, and then his dinosaurs, you know. But and the last thing I want to talk to y'all about mamas is before school starts back, because we know life is happening, is remembering that doors are going to be opening and closing. And you need to go into prayer with this and to just ask God, open whatever doors it is that you want to open in my life, and God also close whatever doors that you want to close in my life, and be open and willing and obedient when he does that. Y'all, I know it can be scary because there have been some things I've sat down because I know that I prayed for some things in the past and God answered real quick. I also know there's some things I prayed about, and I know that God got me in this waiting phase and this waiting season, but there's a reason why he has me how he has me. And y'all, just being mindful that when we go into this season, if it's patience that you need, that is okay. If it's guidance that you need, that is okay. If you need God to just put on your heart to just be a little bit more, I don't know, present with your kids, just ask for that. Just a quick story time, but on the 4th we had went out shopping, and we were in the store, and my son had said something, y'all, and I felt so bad because I made a comment to him, and there was a gentleman right beside me, and he looked up at me, and he was like, they grow up so fast. After I had made the comment, I was like, yeah, they be trying me. And he said, but they grow up so fast. Mine are grown now. They grow up so fast. And when we left out the store, I felt so bad because I was like, why did I say that to my child? Like, and then this man probably thinking like I'm just a horrible mama. Y'all, it stayed with me for so long. And I was like, and I had to think about like what made me feel so bad about the situation. Was it what I said to my child? Was it because of someone else hearing me and I felt judged? Was it because I felt like I looked like a bad mom? It was all of the above. Like I felt really bad, y'all. I felt really bad. And so when I got home and I was gonna make a video, but I was just like, I ain't worried of getting on here trying to tell nobody like how to be mindful and do all this, because look at me, like I'm over here and like look at me trying to parent and I'm messing up stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I had to think about like, son, you are human. You are human. You need to ask God for forgiveness. And I read a devotion yesterday and it was talking about like when you do something and it was it was talking about like when something happens, you need to realize that like when people make that comment, your mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, but we are supposed to set the tone for our house. And it was talking about like what you say and what you do has a very strong impact on your kids. And I never want them to feel like when they hear me or see me or when I'm speaking to them that they feel like threatened or fear, or that they feel like, that there's like gonna be judgment, or I'm gonna be always just like nagging them. You know what I'm saying? And so yesterday I really had to like just go into prayer and I had to just think about this, y'all. And I did devotion that morning and I just kept reading, I just kept reading, and I read through a couple different ones, so I just felt full. I just keep reading so I just feel full. And I was like, God, I have to give myself grace. Thank you that you woke me up this morning. Thank you that you woke me up that morning and the next morning and next morning. And I need to just say that I'm sorry. And I did say that to my son. And I had to just tell God I'm sorry because you put me in this role to be a mom. And you didn't put me in this role to say something that I feel could have been hurtful for my child, whether somebody else heard it or not. Like, that's not why you put me here. That's not what you put me here for. If I'm frustrated or if I'm in my feelings or overwhelmed or whatever you want to call it, I need to step back, calm down, and that's not something to project or portray upon on your kids. And just being mindful and tying this back into when school start, please be mindful. And I had to look at this all throughout the year too, because you're trying to get off to work. Kids may be running late, the bus may have came early. You might have something to do at work. Right before you can clock. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much stuff could be going on in the morning, and or the kids forgot they had homework, or you forgot to sign something, or it could just be anything. And just being mindful that how we send our kids out that door is very important. It's very, very important. And we don't need to be yelling. They don't need to be getting popped. They don't need to be getting yelled at, or whoopings, or you scolding them every morning, or you saying stuff to make them feel bad, or them leaving out the door drying their faces. Like, we need to remember that when we send our kids off in the morning, we don't know what they're going to encounter for that day. But what we can control is the house and what we're doing in here. And we need to let our kids know we love them and that this is a safe place. And just it's just like knowing that when you're talking to God and you know that He's there, and when we want to hear from God and we know like it's just a soothing voice and it's comforting knowing that God, He hears us and He's with us. Think about that, like when you're talking to your kids. Your kids also want that kind of relationship with you, to know there's a soothing voice and love, and that's what our children are longing for. And that's what we are here to provide them. It does not matter that you're upset and that you're feeling some kind of way. We are placed into these roles as mothers to make sure that we are there for our babies, and to make sure when we send them out that door in the morning that they are in the good spirits, that we've prayed over them, and that we know that we did what we're supposed to as parents. So yes, life is happening. Yes, school is right around the corner, but there are things that we can do to get prepared outside of like the physical. Yes, we have to get school supplies. Yes, we have to get clothes. Yes, there are resources and stuff that we can, do. Yes, there are going to be sports. Yes, there are going to be things to pop up at your job. Life is still going to happen. Routines may not work every day, but having something in place is a start. And then just knowing and just asking God, if there was something that I'm doing or that I did that you no longer want me stepping into, close that door. And Father God, also I want you to open the doors. And I heard a sermon. Did I watch it? I don't think I watched this. Did I watch it Sunday? It might have been Saturday when I watched it. And it was saying that sometimes, like, if you're at a door and it just won't open, maybe that door isn't for you. Maybe that door isn't for you. And whatever, and I know we hear this all the time, but I'm going to say it anyway before I leave, y'all. But what God has for you is for you. And what God has for me is for me. And it does not matter. It does not matter what anybody say. If that door is for you, that door is for you. Because God knew that. God does not make no mistakes. He does not make no mistakes. And yes, just because we're uncomfortable, because life gets uncomfortable, and yes, just because, we have obstacles and stuff that come our way, that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going down the wrong path. Just because it is hard, or just because, we have to go through a little something, does not mean that's not what God, intended for you. God said there would be struggles. He said that. And it's in those struggles that you really find your faith. And faith, just as small as a mustard seed, y'all, is all that it takes to move a mountain. Do you hear me? Like, just knowing, like, God, like, why am I going through this? Why am I going through this? Why is it so much? Like, I've done X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Y'all, have you ever thought about, like, when something, like, when an emotion hits you or something happened to you, and you be like, oh, that just hurts so bad. And, like, you find a little bit of news out, and it just really hurt you. It just really hurt you. And let me give you an example, like in a breakup. Let's just say, hey, you're dating someone and you found out he cheated. And them emotions hit you, and it's just hard, and you just break down. It's just too much, it's just heavy for you. And then a little while later, you find out a little bit more news, and then it's like it hits you a little bit hard, a little bit hard. Now think about it. God knows what you can handle. He knows what you can and can't take. Now think about if you just got all them emotions just all at once, like everything that just so hurtful. Like think about anything hurtful anyone has ever said to you. Now think about if everybody did all of that to you over the time you're like all in just one day in one moment. It would just be too much. We go through stuff in phases because that's how we are becoming stronger. You know what I'm saying? I know it don't make sense, and I know it sucks, and it feel like, why I gotta go through this? Because God said we would. He said we would. We are not exempt from struggles. We are not exempt from struggles. You know, having kids, stuff is gonna happen. We can't protect them all the time. When they leave this house and they leave them doors, they are in the hands of strangers, y'all. It still makes me emotional to this day. And my kids are going to third grade, and others going to first. And it's like when you send your kids off, y'all, you are putting them into the hands of somebody else. You are putting them in the hands of somebody else, and you just have to pray and be. You just have to just say, God, please watch over my babies. Watch over their school. Watch over them kids walking up and down the hall. Be with the bus driver. Be with the counselors. Be with the principal. Anybody that my child come into contact with, Father God, just watch over them. Be with their friends. Be with their friends' parents. Their friends' friends. Be with other classmates. You just have to ask the God, just watch over your children. Watch over your babies, because we can't always be there. And it just knowing, like, just having that little bit of faith to know, God, I know I can't be there, but I know you are there with them. I've done what I'm supposed to, and I'm raising my child how your word says. And I'm just asking, Father God, that you just continue to just work with me, help me to be a parent, help me to be a better parent, Father God, and that I can hold up and be the child that you want me to be. Like, that's just how it comes. So yes, life is happening, y'all. School is right around the corner. And like I said, I just been in go, go, go mode. And it's just a step back to just breathe and be like, our kids need us. They need us more than to get ready, sign your papers, do your homework, take your bath, sleep, get back up, do it all over again. They need us to say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Is there something you want to talk about? Is there something that's bothering you? What are you enjoying about this school year? What are you most looking forward to? Just all those kind of things. Because they do grow up fast, y'all. They do grow up fast. And I don't want to look back, and I hope y'all don't either want to look back and be like, man, I wish I would just took a little bit more time and, like, not always been at work. I wish I would have just took a little bit more time and not been so caught up in, registering my child for everything that the school sent home. Just being more present with our babies, y'all. Like I said, this video, I hope I didn't make it too long, but I just wanted to do a sit down and just a chit chat with you all, just talking. If y'all like this style of video, let me know. I like to hear y'all comments down below. So I'll see y'all in my next video. Y'all keep y'all head up, stay blessed, and y'all stay prayed up. And as always, be blessed, be sweet, and be you. Bye, y'all.